of champions, a clash of titans, the goat off, and many other names I'm sure people can come up with. Welcome to the map Hardwire. Joining me in the upper right with the red drones, it is Serral. And his opponent in the bottom left, the blue Terran, going to be Maru. The four-time GSL champion up against the recent Katowice champion, the finisher himself. It is Serral versus Maru. Whew, I am not worthy. I do not feel worthy casting these two in the same match against each other. Both, they're champions. I don't know how else to put it. These guys, they just win. They just win. They look at a tournament and they're like, yeah, I can take that. I can handle that. And you're like, guys, you know there's like 64 pro players in this. And they're like, yeah. And so what? I'm Serral. I'm Maru. I'll take my prize money now. Thank you very much. They're both going to be opening up normal macro level plays. Barracks in his own base. Quite an achievement, an accomplishment for Mr. Maru. Serral with the hatch, the gas, the pool, the normal stuff. Overlords definitely did some checking around. I will not say which game in the match this series is, which match, what number match this is in the series. You get what I'm trying to say. But apparently Maru was doing some shenanigans, some cheeky business. Overlords checking all over the place. Drones at the third base. There is no Reaper. Maru did open up with the Marine first into reactor. See the Hellions come up shortly, probably followed by a quick third command center if I would have to place my bets. Zerglings. No, Steve, where are you going? They got it. Steve knew they could handle it. They're just rocks. What are they going to do? Roll away? Come on. Come on. Command center's finishing up. These did not actually do the switcheroo that I was expecting them to. Maru. Producing Hellions off of a no add-on factory? Is that even allowed? Are you allowed to make Hellions from a naked factory, if you will? Single Zergling, cooked. Barbecue for breakfast, boys. I don't think I'd eat Zergling. You don't know where that's been? Come on. Actually, it might be even worse to say we do know where it's been. Used to be a larva at the base of a hatchery. Ugh. Medevac. Idle factory. Something's going on here. Maru is not doing the textbook TVZ that I thought he would. He's got a couple Hellions on this side of the map. Serral's got the OV speed finishing up right as Otto, the Overlord, makes his way into the base. Sees the Medevac boosting around with Marines. Just typical Terran business, scaring the Overlord off. Just making sure that that OV feels terrified. Uh-oh. Serral, the Overlord dance, has not seen the fusion core yet, but you'd have to be thinking, why is Maru protecting this base so carefully? The last game I casted of Maru on this map, specifically, he went for a long haul mech build up against Dark, I want to say. Ended up taking that game through sheer force of will, it felt like. Dark had to respond with swarm hosts and nidus worms and whatnot. Third CC in at the wall now. We've got the Pult Viking. Good old homage to any players that are old enough to remember Pult. I remember Pult. dating myself here. It is going to be a battlecruiser build from Maru, so it's looking like it might be the same kind of thing that was seen previously. Marines making their way into the main base. They start gunning for the queen, pick off a drone before the lings get here. Despite being in a pretty good spot, Maru's just going to head home. Or not necessarily home. Maybe he's just head out. It's probably the more appropriate term. Viking chasing down the Overlord. Serral finally gets the scout off that he wanted so desperately. Fusion core is coming. Are there spore crawlers? There's the spore crawlers. Probably just one in each base. 2 max, I'd say. How's our queen count doing? 9 ladies of the brood are present. More than enough to handle 1 battlecruiser, but we'll have to see if Maru stops at 1 battlecruiser. I'm gonna go with unlikely. BC jumps, warps into the back of the main. Queens are already here. Spore crawler drone's gonna be pulled off the line. Hold the line. BC just doing a little bit of a dance. Takes out 1 queen. Another one trying to pull away. Serral's good with the micro. Keeping most of the queens alive. Couple drones picked off. The BC red health with no teleport ready. Just gonna have to sit at the back. And that is what the Spire's for. Hopefully Serral can get out the corruptors that he needs to shut down the battlecruiser business. 4th hatch, little ambitious from Serral. Gonna be cancelled or not. Just killed. Okay. Maru takes out the 4th base. Little bit of a loss this early in the game to lose that. More BCs on the way. Cyclones being produced, so it is a full-blown mech game. Hope you brought your beverages, boys. Maru is going for mech weapons, producing cyclones, battlecruisers. Might see a transition into tanks at some point, but I am much more keen to see what Serral is planning to do, and apparently that answer is Mutalisk. Not opting for corruptors. He doesn't want to just shut down the battlecruisers right away. I'm impressed. The ambition, the gamble. Mutas will definitely be more useful on Maru's side of the map. And I suppose it's fair because the queens have got this handled. I should never have doubted the 11 queens that Serral is packing. Battlecruisers, total count, we've got... That's not units. 2 BCs. One's at home. That's where the other one was. Muta's going to gather up on the left side. Not nearly enough Zerglings to accomplish anything but a simple brunch amongst friends. Mutas make their way into the main. Now, there is a turret. There are some Cyclones. Cyclone not your first pick up against Mutas to deal with anti-air, but it works reasonably well. Low numbers of mutas, perfect, absolutely fine. High numbers of mutas where it gets a little tricky because the Cyclone can only hit one thing at a time. Very narrow vision in the Cyclone window. What kind of pit they have those pilots in, who knows? Hellions, on the other hand, much more terrible against mutas, so Maru rightfully going to pull those back while he goes for more command centers. Widowmine production has started up. Oh, already started. You can see 2 placed behind the refinery so that you can't see them when you're looking at the screen normally. Might come into play. Serral might take the hit. He's going for Swarm Host behind this and just trying to deal with the battlecruisers. Transfuse on the Mutalisk. The Mutaflock comes home. Definitely enough mutas to contend. Oh, that was so close. 17 health. Maru. Oh, jeez. Alright. Serral gonna open up the rocks. He's pushing the creep forward, being active with the mutas. I really like it. It helps keep Maru at home. The battlecruisers slightly on edge. Battlecruiser build. Changeling found out or expired, who knows, but he's gone. Probably to the terrifying dismay of all the nearby Terrans. It was a changeling? I had him over for dinner the other day. I let my kids near him. Oh my gosh, he seemed like such an innocent, quiet soul. Swarm hosts make their presence known along with Bane's and Muta's big battle at the third base. Bane's rolling into the Cyclones, getting rid of most of the army forces. BCs and Hellions are still here though. Swarm host cooldown is not ready yet again, so Serral gonna have to back it up slightly. Mutas, they might need to be protecting these swarm hosts. Some of the locusts do come out to play. And Thors are on the way. Thor is almost here. The 11 queens, still just 11. I'm surprised. Didn't go up to Dark's 18. Dark's 20 queens. Dark loves his queen. More Banes. Command Center scouts the Mutaflock. Not the ideal choice, which you want to pick. Queen Walk versus Terran. Okay, let's just make that happen. Siege tanks picked off by some of the locusts, making sure that the queens are not under too much fire. The command center lives. BCs looks like they fended off the Mutaflock. Serral setting up the Bane run by. Behind this, getting all the upgrades. We've got Burrow, we've got Pathogen Glands, Glial or Glial Reconstitution, I'm still not sure. Roach Speed. We just call it Roach Speed, because who actually knows what it's called? Super run by of Banelings, picking off SCVs, goes for the Planetary Fortress. An excellent hit. Oh, Yamato onto the Mutas. The Mutas picking off a few more SCVs. Thors and tanks are holding the line here up against the swarm hosts. 23 SCVs. Serral picking off more with these Mutas. Remaining very active. Muta count's dwindling though. Not for long though. He's making more. Cancel what I was just saying. I'm sorry. Smart servos? Smart servos. For the Hellions? For the Thors? Really? It doesn't affect siege tanks. If it did though, oh my gosh. Zergs, can you imagine that? If smart servos affected siege tanks, that would be disgusting. Make them transition much more quickly. For any who don't know, smart servos reduces the speed it takes to transition between modes for some of the units, such as the Viking going from air to ground, or the Hellion from Hellion to Hellbat. Serral finally admits that battlecruisers exist and is going to make some corruptors. The Mutas are on the other side of the map, and this hatch is in quite a bit of peril, actually. I think it's going to go down. Definitely goes down. Corruptors are here now, though. I expect the BCs to warp away. Oh my gosh, Maru. 15 health. That's like one hit. One hit from a corruptor does 20 base damage. I think he might even have an upgrade. He does. Jeez, just one hit from the corruptor and the BC's gone. That warp was so well timed. Losing it. Creep spread on the Terran's doorstep. Hellions and siege tanks gonna try and keep that a little more clear. Locusts are coming. Maru does know about it though. Hellbats very quickly transform thanks to the very intellectual servos. Mutas and Corruptors gonna be fended off. Takes out a few with the Yamato on their way. Maru's setting up the very nice defensive position here. He's got 5 bases, and now he's going for ghosts. Ooh. Ghost, the late game Terran catch-all unit. The unit that I think many people were surprised was not part of the balance patch. Oh, Widow Mines connect onto the Mutas. Not devastating by any means, but still a bit disheartening. Corruptors are here. Locusts and Banes. Get the surround tanks are already set up, but siege tanks are not a good answer to Locusts unless they are very well protected. Which these are not. Not at all. Every tank goes down. A couple Thors going to waddle, saunter their way back home. Looks like the BCs cleaned up all the mutas. Yeah? Yeah. So 10 mutas were killed off in that last battle. And a Nidus network. So Serral's going to transition into a little bit of a ground composition. I'm seeing roaches. I'm seeing ravagers. I'm seeing swarm host chunks go everywhere. Greater Spire on the way too. I would love to see some Broodlords. Broodlords would make me a happy caster this game. Able to break some of these Terran lines to use the siege tanks against them. Nidus Worm coming up now. Scouting Zergling. Gonna find the command center. The Karak finds it first. Oh. How did he know? How did he know about this? He was just checking the base. Obviously the Zergling was in sensor tower range, but... okay then. Ravagers ravaging their way right through the Terran base. Command center lifted despite the presence of Corruptors nearby. Very brave command center pilot. Have to admire the fearlessness. Like, what's safer actually? Because I'm being hit by Ravagers on the ground or Corruptors in the air. You have to weigh those kinds of odds. The questions nobody really thinks about. Say, which has a higher rate of killing me? Locusts make their way into the main base more just to provide vision. Oh, good Widowmine shots. Very unfortunate Ghost with his dramatic death, of course. I will not reenact it because nobody needs to hear that. More Ghosts being produced. Planetary gone. Banes and Ravagers. Not too bad at killing bases, actually. Quite efficient. Banes get the super bonus damage versus buildings. And more Nidus Worms being made just on the edge of the sensor wall. Swarm hosts holding their position. On this side, Maru he's trying to stabilize, it feels. What's going on over here? Locust picking off refineries. No gas for you. It's like an environmental group. We refute your claim to mine these minerals. Battlecruisers picking on poor innocent overlords. Corruptors trying to get in the way here. Yamato onto the hatchery. It is gone. One battlecruiser finally picked off. 12 SCVs going down on this side. Action-packed battle across the board. Ghosts trying to chase. Probably want to snipe off some of the Ravagers, but not going to happen. Not this time. 13 SCVs went down, bringing Maru down to a very comfortable 72. Do we have Neural? Neural. We do have Neural. Serral's got some infestors burrowed here. They're burrowing around. They're moving. Doing their creepy crawly underground. Might be able to get a Neural off on battlecruisers, ghosts. Oh. Neural mind control a ghost and then EMP the other ghosts. We've been seeing that more lately. Block of Ravagers making their way to this base yet again. Maru never repaired the command center here. It's still around half health, which could be destroyed very quickly if all the biles are launched. A little bit of a risk. What's life without risk, without ambition, right? No, I don't need to repair that. It's fine. Battlecruisers. Cinematic warp-in versus Locust. Missile turret completes just in time to be destroyed. Missile turret. You can shoot the Locust when they're up in the air, but as soon as they go down, the missile turret guy loses track of it. He says, I can't see them. Made it so missile turrets can only rotate. They can't actually aim up or down Infestor comes up, Neural onto the Thor, zoom out for this battle, Ghost snipes across the Corruptor field, Ravager Biles are here. Thor's actually taking out the battle cruiser. Love it. Fungal so they can get away. Very good. Very good engagement from both players. I think Maru comes out ahead only because most of the ghosts are still alive and only one cruiser was downed. But Serral's readying another wave. Swarm hosts on the left side, realizing there's very little protection here. Hatchery going to be lost on the right, and the ghosts are now going to rotate around. He picks off the sensor tower. So no, you don't need to know when I'm coming anymore. Stealth time. Uh-oh. Very quick warp in response. Overlord gonna be picked off. Nidus will be denied. They're actually supply blocking Serral at 197. Oh, firing squad. Just in time. Oh, that was gruesome. Ghosts get the pick off on all the swarm hosts, so Serral gonna have to rotate around to the right side here. Maru's gonna press the left column. Oh, good lord, you guys. More SCVs killed off. Planetary is crushed. 21 minutes into the match, and the Terran is now pushing the left side. Mech is a slow and steady game. A game of efficiency and patience. Couple hatches in danger now. Drones pulled off the line. Serral scrambling to respond. Nothing is in place, and the poor drones. No, they're being cooked. 17 drones and counting battle cruisers finally going to be picked off. Was that every cruiser? That was every cruiser. So despite all of the damage that Serral just endured on the left side, I think he might actually feel like he can breathe a little bit easier now that the battle cruisers are gone. And this is the representation of that. The Corruptors are no longer needed. Your service here is finished. Unleash the Lords of the Brood. Yes. Excellent. Brood Lords make an appearance. The only reliable anti-air from Maru is the Ghost. Which, they are good. If you can get the snipes off on the Brood Lords, it's going to be a good deal for Maru. The problem's getting there. Oh, man. Brood Lords. What are we looking at? Brood Lord, Lingbane, Ravager. Swarm hosts were also lost, were not replaced. So it looks like Serral's going to commit to this composition for the time being. There's a lot of siege tanks with a good spread, but Brood Lords are designed to break this kind of play. Maru knows about the Broods now. Vikings. Oh, I heard it. The assimilation successful. Infestor death and the lack of ghost energy tells me I think that happened. Serral got hold of a ghost and EMP'd the energy away. Maru pressing forward. I am not sure how I feel about this choice. The Broodlords are going to get on top of the planetary, and this base was actually mining. Maru just going to avoid it. Just leave it be. Okay. Alright. Hellbats and siege tanks are going to make their way even more forward. Broodlords did take out the base and are going to respond with the defense now. Siege tanks unsiege, trying to get out of there as best they can. Hellbats threatening the drones yet again, and now the siege tanks are on this side. Ghost, Pack, very low energy though. It's a good EMP. This hatch is toast. That hatch was toast. Very ambitious Hellions. One actually going to make it through. Okay. Bane's rolling forward, rolling away. They're advancing in the opposite direction. Totally fine. Not a good thing to be indecisive when you're under siege tank fire, but he's making it work. Brood's now pushing even more forward. Infestor's going to back them up. For fungal, for neural, if needed. Command center flies right by, says, "Ha, you're not a corruptor anymore. I'm not scared of you. In fact, I'm going to land." Probably not the best decision, Maru. It's fine. It's fine. More Thors are being made to try and deal with the Broodlords. Thors are a good answer. Ghosts are also a good answer. Vikings are a good answer too, though. Don't see very many Vikings. Fungal's a problem. Unsieged siege tank hit squad. Is that even legal? Are Terrans allowed to attack with siege tanks unsieged? Broodlords wreaking havoc on Maru's side of the map, chewing up bases as best they can. Thors trying to respond, trying to set up some semblance of a defensive line. And Zerglings, they're gonna... will it burn? Now we have that question to deal with. Okay. Siege tank squad splits up. Ravager's gonna back up to try and defend it. The Greater Spire's in peril. This base, it will not burn. All you people that were saying it is going to burn, wrong. You failed the question this day. Ravagers shuffling, trying to get up the ramp, realizing maybe it'd be better if only 4 of us went up the ramp. Few Zerglings threatening the mules. Nothing major. Oh, the Greater Spire was lost, actually. So a lot of the tech requirements are gone. The Broodlords cannot be remade, and if the Broods are lost, I fear for the Zerg's position here. They're gonna send out the Broodlings, the Ghosts, wrapping around those snipes onto the Broodlords. Oh, tension, Fungal. Oh, the Broodlords going down thanks to the snipes and the Thors. Serral gonna tap out. Maru takes the game. The unsieged siege tank hit squad, getting rid of the tech, and then just deal with the Broodlords and call it a win. Sounds easy, right? Either way, if you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys very much for watching. As always, I hope you have a great day.